So read the fine print. We work with buyers. In today's world, technology is everywhere. People are on the internet. They're Googling. They're searching. Everybody wants the best rate. Can't blame them. I get it. I understand. But really, you should read the fine print, especially when it comes to rates. What's being advertised. Is that a buy-down rate? What is that? You want to give a little insight on why all lenders are not created equal, and it's important to the consumer why they should. It's not so much about shopping, because we get a lot of people who shop, but they're really hyper-focused on rate. And they need to understand that we had one today. One of our agents in here, we sent him to you. One of our agents in here closed the deal today. The buyer came to you, or we referred him to you. You gave him a rate at the time, at the end of August, which was
6.99.
6.99. For whatever reason, they decided to go a different direction, and they closed today. And what did our agent say their rate was?
7.75.
So almost 80 basis points, we'll just call it 80 basis points higher. Now, why they made that switch, I don't know, but 80 basis points, almost 1%, is a lot. Mm-hmm. So you want to kind of, talk on that a little bit in terms of what you see and what you hear from consumers when they come to you?
Absolutely, and there's a lot to unpack in that.
That's a lot in that
one. First of all, the internet is great, but people can go down a rabbit hole with, what should I do when I'm buying a home?
Right.
What should I do when I'm looking for a lender? And of course, there's great advice out there, just like there's great advice on WebMD. But that can really mess up your mind. Yes. So it's the same kind of thing. So there's these bullet points that they'll read, and people get very hyper focused on rate and payment. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's important, 100%. And you should be an educated consumer. You should shop your loan, but the general consumer is not an expert in lending. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
heck, the general realtor is not an expert in lending.
Correct.
Period.
And so there'll be numbers thrown at them, and when you're taking a snapshot of something, just like anything else in life, if you're taking a snapshot and it's not in full context, it can be very misleading. And so we do see a lot of that. There's a lot of great lenders all across the country, not saying that, but sometimes, especially when people are payment focused, they might go to a lender and they'll say, okay, what's my payment? And the lender gives them a payment. It's $2,500 a month, and I'm giving them a payment of $2,700 a month, and they're saying, well, I'm going to go with this lender. Their rate's even higher than yours, but I'm going to go with them because the payment's $200 a month lower.
They didn't look at the fine print like, well, what was their estimate for insurance?
Right.
What was their estimate for your property taxes? And especially if they're a national lender, we don't have a state income tax here. We do have higher property taxes than some states. So as a result, they may estimate low.
Yes.
And they don't know that this line item on this other estimate is really going to end up being higher.
Yes.
And by the time they discover that, sometimes it's too late.
It's too late. They're pretty far down the road. They don't want to back out.
Right.
So yes, and again, we talk local. So we're in an area with hurricanes in the Gulf, and so insurance here is very different than it is in the Midwest.
Or even North Texas, where you don't have hurricanes or the same effect.
Right. You're not on the water. So there's flood insurance, there's windstorm insurance. So many people moving here from other states. I'm having that conversation when they see that insurance number, which flows into their estimated payment.
Right.
So if you're using a lender that's in Kansas and normal
I used to live in Kansas. So,
I just picked that. Yeah. But normal insurance is $100 a month.
Right.
That lender might be giving this Texas buyer an estimate with $100 a month, and they may truly even think that because that's the market that they're well versed in.
Right.
And so then that buyer is making a decision on the biggest financial decision of their life based on these numbers that a lender that is not local is giving them. And so you really need to work with somebody who is giving you that granular information.
Which leads me to, look, if, for example, someone comes to you and then they decide they want to get an estimate from somewhere else, look, they can bring you their estimate,
Absolutely.
and you can make sure that they're comparing apples to apples and not apples to oranges.
Yes.
Look, and I know who you are, and if the rate is better and everything's better over there, then go with that lender. But what I don't want for our clients is they make a misstep, and again, I don't know the exact situation today, but with one of our agents' clients or one of our clients, why they pick this other lender over you. But what I'm wondering, was it about fees? Because their fees can vary, but they still end up with a higher rate. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. I don't want to get deep into that. I just know that at the end of the day, do your homework. The internet is great, but the devil's in the details. It's in the fine print. Make sure they're not advertising a certain rate that is also after you pay down or buy down the rate, shall I say. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, and really you have to align yourself with a lender, a realtor who's referring a quality lender, so you can put yourself in the best light possible. Thanks for coming in. You're a wealth of knowledge. We appreciate you. Class act right here, everybody. Class act. Always dressed to the nines, too. I told her to come casual today. She was paranoid. But thank you, Laura. We appreciate you. Y'all have a good one out there, folks. Bye-bye.